Hosted by Mike, the Big Cheese.
Hey,
How are you?
I called you and then you're there. It said it was going to put me on the radio or listen to the radio or something.
Yeah, you're going to be put on hold, but I figure I can't make you wait. Came all the way from Australia.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good. I just dropped my coffee all over the ground, so I'm a little bit upset, but you know, that's the worst thing that happens to me today.
Let's hope it is. We didn't get through this interview yet, so you never know.
Yeah, we'll see.
All right. Hey, look, I know you guys are about to hit the road again. New album. I mean, it seems like things have really been picking up for the band over the last couple of years, and with the last album, Hate, really putting you guys at a different level. Now Holy Was is coming out. I think this is going to be the album that really, breaks the band, completely wide open.
Yeah, that's what we hope that it does. Maybe it'll totally tumble us and cripple the band, but no, we tried real hard. We can at least say that. We put a lot of time into the record. It was developed over the last probably 2.5 years. So, yeah, it's good to be done with it and get ready to hit the road and have a release in 2 weeks.
Absolutely. The band has gone through a lot. It's almost 10 years old, the band now. It's gone through a lot of lineup changes. You joined around the midway point of the band. When people come in and out of a group, does it kind of affect the lineup, the sound of the band, or the direction that it was in and that it's going to go in?
Absolutely. The band is nothing but a product of its parts, and when you change one of the parts, it changes the band. Obviously, certain people have more influence than others in terms of the music and the composition. But I've been with the band for about 6 years now. So I came in during the Adversary cycle, and had a direct influence on Hate. We started writing the record at my house. I joined the band, and then Sean and Lee moved from Sydney to Brisbane to my place, and we started writing the record there, and we booked in to come to where I'm sitting right now at the Machine Shop in New Jersey with Will to record. But since then, we haven't really had a dominant member change. I guess the four of us together are the most important pieces. Like if one of us left, we'd probably all stop. Obviously CJ's the face and the voice of the band. Sean composes the majority of the music. I write the majority of the lyrics. Lee is a very mechanical style drummer, and that's part of our sound. Maybe if we had a groove drummer, it might not sound the same, or it's where we're at now is the most important. And we had a couple guitar players flip through, but they didn't contribute to any of the music. They're just touring members. And then we're kind of sick of doing that. It was unfair to the guys that were playing for us, and we wanted to feel like we were a whole 5-piece band again. And we had Kevin, who played bass for us for the last over a year now. He's been playing in and out. We had a few other guys flip-flop in. But, we wanted... He made a lot of sacrifices personally to come on tour with us, and we wanted to reward him and thank him. And he's been a long-time friend of ours. He played in a band called Aversion's Crown, who's also on Nuclear Blast. Yeah. And so, it was great to get him. We've got the 5 of us now, and it's been the 4 of us for so long. It feels good to have a 5th guy now.
I'm sure. Well, Sean and Gary, started out as guitar players in the band, and Sean kind of jumped over to bass at the time that you joined. Was that a conscious effort that he wanted to go to bass as you took over on guitar, or was it just the semantics of the band at the time?
For Sean's been playing bass since he was a kid, so That's his primary instrument. It always has been, always will be. But it also has influenced his guitar playing, and that's why he has a unique style of writing material. He's written everything. Before I joined the band, he wrote every song, the music at least. So when I came in, he didn't mind playing bass live because he loves playing the bass. Like, he enjoys playing that instrument. I mean, if it was drums and it was a totally different thing, you could understand more easily like how someone can enjoy playing an instrument. And to him, bass are two very different things. So I understand that. I'm not a bass player. I'm a guitar player. So it made sense for him to play bass and for me to play guitar. They wanted my input, I guess. They invited me to join the band. But for playing bass live, like, it doesn't really get any better than Sean DeLander. Like, he is a sick metal bass player. And then, you know, we tried that avenue for a few years now, him playing bass and getting another guitar player. But unfortunately, everyone that's really good at guitar is a little bit strange. So Sean and I literally do not practice guitar. Like, we're going to rehearse tonight and we haven't played guitar in weeks. So, I mean, we'll see how we go. But, you know, he just would move to where the band needed him. And, you know, Sean's, we call him Sean DeLander the Galavante. He just does whatever he feels like at any given moment, you know?
That's funny. That's good. I have to tell you, new album. I was disappointed when you guys changed the album cover. I thought that was one of the greatest album covers ever. The kid with the bombs on. Was that something that you were forced to do, or you just felt you'd be better off? Because you never came across as the kind of band that really compromised on anything.
No, and we've been asked to censor our music video that's coming out in a week or so, but I've declined that option. So we'll see where it's going to get hosted. I don't think it's going to make it to YouTube, unfortunately. But no, I mean, for this one, it's just a matter. Okay, online, sure. You're splitting hairs. Do I go to this website or do I go to this website? It's not very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
You know, everyone lives on their iPhone, lives on their iPad, their MacBook, their whatever. So, I mean, that's simple. Going into a store and trying to buy a CD, not so simple. Now we have a targeted, fixed geographic location of retail that people expect to buy music from, and we're going to say, it's not in this store, it's not in the next store, actually it's not in any stores. So that's a tricky one. Like, hey, jump through this ring of fire, send an email and a money order, and we'll get back to you in 47 days. Like, no one's going to do that to buy music anymore. So we'll force with the choice. You know, some of the retailers are a little bit scared about the idea of the album cover, and I accept that. You know, as a responsible adult, that maybe certain things shouldn't just be in a store for little kids to see. So we ended up rolling with the another shot that was from the layout of the record, and we shifted that to the front cover. But so it turns out now we're going to get some stickers manufactured, and the second press will actually have the original cover impeded by a sticker, which I don't like either. But at least that version is available if a diehard fan wants to buy it and have the original cover as it was intended to be.
Yeah. I guess it kind of is a tricky situation because, you know, you're in a band because you're an artist. You like playing music. You want to write music. But in the end, if you do want to make this a career and you want to make this where you can go to work every day and do this as a job, I guess you do have to make certain, you know, compromises on the business end of it, you know, to further this along. Because if it limits people hearing your music, in the end, you're kind of only hurting yourself.
Absolutely. I mean, what's an artist without a listener? It's just that's your weird uncle that smokes pot and he's 55. Like, that's not us. We want people to listen to our music because when they listen, they're going to come to the show, and we have a lot of fun when we play a show. So, you know, they have to be able to get their hands on it somehow without jumping through too many hoops, because things are a matter of convenience now. And if you go down to Best Buy and our CD's not there, you're probably just going to download it. I mean, that's what I'd probably do. So, you know, we wanted it to be available. Turns out we're going to run a sticker on the second press anyways, which I'm not too happy about. I mean, the whole artwork and the process and the concept and the art design was my brainchild. So it hurts me to have to compromise it, but I understand that sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. I mean, we're not going to make money off it. I mean, that's how the label makes their money, but it's also how our fans get our CD in their hands and can see it and feel it and listen to it. And that's what's important to us. And we have to do what we had to do to make sure that can happen.
Oh, I completely understand that. I heard or I read somewhere that you actually are living in the U.S. now. Is that true, or was that just something people were talking about?
Oh, geez, there's rumors. I went to Mexico the other day, and a fan club was posting on Facebook that I'd landed in Mexico. It was crazy. Fans writing. I was like, I'm not CJ. Like, why do you care where I am? But no, I'm a U.S. citizen, so I'm Hawaiian. I moved to Australia when I was about 12 or something, and I'm back. I mean, I'm here so much anyways, it made sense to move back. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Here I am.
Well, it must be better having a presence here in the U.S. I mean, you are a U.S. citizen, but for the whole band in general, it must be good having a presence here because Australia is kind of isolated, from the rest of the world as far as music goes. As big as a country as it is, it's not population-wise, it's not tremendous. Then trying to break down the metal fans, I mean, it has to be a limited base over there.
Yeah, it's pretty far away. I mean, I think the state of California's got a bigger population than the entirety of Australia. So, I mean, it's a small community. There's not much room for growth for our style of music, I mean, we've pretty much got all the fans that we're ever going to get in Australia, I think. I mean, maybe there's a few metalheads in Darwin or Alice Springs and in the middle of the desert, but there's not much room for growth there. It makes it slightly cheaper for the band tour because I don't have to fly from Australia everywhere to tour, so it's one less plane ticket. I also manage the band, so it makes sense for me to be in New York, labels here, booking agents here, merchandise companies on the West Coast. Like, everything's run out of America, and to be on the same time zone gets me a little bit extra sleep. I'm still working on 3 time zones, but it just makes sense to be here. I can work a lot faster, get things done a lot quicker, jump on the phone. I mean, no one's working at 2 a.m. when Australia's awake, so.
Yeah. You're right about that. Where do you find like your fan base today? Because it changes all the time. Different, like you go over to Greece, power metal from the '80s is the biggest thing in the world over there. South America goes crazy for it. For your genre of music, and I hate even using that word because to me, metal is metal. There's all different sounds and styles, of course, but it's just metal in the end. Do you find you have a bigger fan base in certain countries more than others, or do you concentrate on those areas more than others, or do you try to take over the areas that you feel people haven't really heard the band yet?
It's a bit of a catch-21, and I think it's the eternal problem for most touring bands is maybe you might get lucky, or maybe for whatever reason you take off faster or get bigger in a certain place sooner, and that entices you to keep playing there more often because you want to play big shows. So you're going to go to where the big shows are, and often bands will neglect those other countries or cities or states because the shows haven't been good. But we try to play everywhere. We've just been around Europe and played 10 places we've never played before. I mean, and we've toured there probably 10 times now. So we try and mix it up. Certainly our biggest places are kind of, the United States, obviously, UK and Australia, but we're always trying to play in new places and build our fan base and not necessarily always build it, but to go there to play for the people who already live there and already love our band. One place that we've been trying to get to for forever is Finland. We have a very dedicated fan base there, and we just can't get there. So we're trying to make that happen. But I don't even know if it'll be any good. We've never played there before, so I have no idea. But, we want to go there for those fans. So
sure, I'm sure
it's a balance,
Absolutely. Well, you're going out on the Rockstar Festival now. That's a major tour, hitting the big markets and in front of large audiences. Are you guys going to be doing offshoots and different shows like throughout the tour, or are you just going to hit the road with the tour and stay on it?
Yeah, no, we work hard. I think we have 5 days off in 7 or 8 weeks, or however long our run is. So we this Saturday, tomorrow night, actually, we're going to leave for it. We start our routing dates to Mayhem with Whitechapel, starting in Missouri and going west towards California, and then on every off day, we're either supporting Whitechapel with Devil Wears Prada, or we're doing a headliner. So there's a bunch of shows that you can catch us at if you can't afford to or can't make it to a Mayhem, or there's not one near you. We're probably going to be near you anyways.
Yeah. When you do a festival like the Mayhem Festival, play in front of a large audience, years ago, people would go with an open mind. They'd want to hear every band on the bill, kind of take them in, even if it wasn't bands I heard of or fans of. When you do a show like that, are you trying to win over the people that aren't fans of you yet, or are you just trying to hit the fans that are there for you? Or is it more difficult playing a festival?
Absolutely, we're trying to make new fans. I mean, if we're trying to play to our own fans, we wouldn't be doing the festival. We'd just go and do a headline tour and be able to play more songs and have a sound check and have all of those other things, those things that make it slightly easier, you know. Definitely trying to make new fans. I think the biggest Mayhem is San Bernardino at like 25 to 28,000. The biggest summer tours that we've done in the States have been Summer Slaughter the last 2 years in a row. And I think the biggest show's generally about 1,000 to 1,200. So you got to factor in the fact that we would play to just as many people in one show on Mayhem as we would on a whole Summer Slaughter tour.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's definitely room for what I guess they call exponential growth.
Absolutely.
So, you know, for us, it's if we've played Summer Slaughter to 20,000 people in a month, and this tour, like, maybe we can play to 250,000 people in a month, that's ridiculous. And that's, you know, that's 200,000 people that have never seen us before, possibly never even heard of us before. I think, you know, the iPhone and the internet makes people, you know, they can pick and choose a lot more and do a lot more research. I mean, I don't go to a restaurant now without looking up reviews on Yelp, and I'm not going to go and try it out if it's got unfavorable reviews. And likewise, people do that with music now. It's like, I checked it out online, it's not for me. Or they even saw a show on YouTube and they go, it's not for me. So people can be a lot more picky and choosy, but with these festivals, it just gives you a check. They're there anyways. They're going to watch one of their other favorite bands, or maybe we're their favorite band, but they're there. It's pretty difficult to leave, I guess, because there's so many people that want to create a stampede of, oh my God, the Artist Murder's playing, let's leave. So they're there, and we're going to put on a good show for them, and hopefully they're going to like what they see.
I'm sure they will. You know, like you were saying, you don't go to a restaurant today unless you go to Yelp first and read the review. I mean, and it does apply to music too, because people look up bands that way. But, you know, I mean, everybody has different opinions. You know, this guy might not like that steak and this guy might not like your band, but another guy would. So do you really take, you know, everything people write down, you know, verbatim for word or what it is, or do you just kind of go with it anyway and give it a shot, even if it isn't the best review?
Oh, absolutely. We always do our best. That's all we try to do. We try to be the hardest working band that we know. If someone else is working harder, we try and catch up to them or learn a few things from them. But, you know, we always do as much as we can to see what, you know, push the limits of what we're capable of and see what's possible.
Sure. Well, and I'm not going to keep you much long. I know you have a whole bunch of these to do today. The new album is absolutely brutal. I will be in New Jersey at the Mayhem Festival. I will see you guys live then. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a great day.
I'm in Jersey right now, so.
I'm sorry to hear that, but things will get better.
Yeah. Thanks a bunch.
All right. You got it. Take care, Andy.
All right. See ya.